one time, but whatever.
I love it.
Hello, everyone out there in the YouTube world and in the virtual world. I am one of your hosts, Tanisha Steyer for Mommies and Money, and I have the honor to be here with Miss Laura Whedon, which is on this side. That's where she is. She is here also with me. She's also with me, and she's also here, and she's excited because tonight we're going to be talking about something that's very, very dear to me. When I say it makes me upset, like it makes me upset to my core. A lot of us are known for, things not having, or I'm sorry, we fail to plan. And when you fail to plan, you put yourself in a situation where you have to ask strangers for money, and they called it a GoFundMe. So we're going to have a very, very open and heavy conversation. Me and Laura definitely were on the phone this morning talking about some things. We were just like, holy crap, this is actually a lot deeper than it should be, but it's something that's happening in our community every single day. So I have the honor to sit there and have Laura explain our mission statement before we go into anything else, all right? Because you guys have to know why we're here. So Laura, you can take it away, girlfriend. Go ahead.
Thank you so much, my dear guest host. No, I'm just kidding. My lovely co-host, Tanisha. Hi, YouTube world. Real quick, definitely like our video and subscribe to our channel. Definitely want to click on the notifications so that you know that we're going to be back every single Thursday at 6:30 p.m. So here at Mommies and Money, again, my name is Laura Whedon. Nice of you all to join us. And thank you for the guests who are on with us this evening, Mr. Terrence and Miss Natasha. Great to see you all this evening. But our mission here at Mommies and Money is we are in pursuit of excellence and the breaking of generational curses by empowering women and mothers through financial education to ensure a better future. So we want you all to win financially. But we also want you to have fun with us. We want to bring you awesome topics, juicy topics, heavy topics, and we all just want to have a conversation. Basically, we're just here to have a conversation because there's a lot of information that is just not being talked about. That's very important, especially to our community. So we want to break those generational curses and create generational wealth for our community as well as everybody, right? But especially our community, because we definitely need it. So know that this is a judgment-free zone. We are not here to judge you. We want to hear your opinion. Your opinion matters. You matter to us. And so we want to hear you. Join our conversation, register, and hop on the call with us so that we can converse with you, right? And definitely, if you have ideas that you want to drop by us, put it in our comment section below. Reach out to us. Tanisha, if you can drop that email for us, send us an email. Any way you want to reach out to us, do so because we want to hear from you. So back to our awesome topic this evening. And it's like a plague that's plaguing our community, this GoFundMe thing. Well, okay. So Tanisha and I were actually talking about this earlier, and it's becoming a thing. A lot of people follow trends. And with the way things are happening nowadays, when a loved one is no longer with us, there's a lot of things that are not put in place as far as funeral costs or funeral costs or taking care of, the expenses that are left behind. And so we want to shed light on other options you can do besides the GoFundMe. Don't follow the trends. What makes a person so comfortable to follow the GoFundMe trend? Why is it a trend? Why is this a thing?
Why is it comfortable for everyone to sit there and ask a stranger for money? Like, what is that about? Like, that's what really makes me tick. So you mean to sit there and tell me you Y'all remember that song? Independ. You remember that song? I think it was like Lil Bootsy or something like that. Independent or something like that. Like, I know y'all remember that song. I know you remember. Don't act like y'all don't know. You remember that song. So that song came out, right? And you have all these females out here like, yeah, girl, I'm independent. I can do it by myself. But if something would happen to you, who is actually going to take care of the stuff that you did to get to be in that to independent, right? So that's what bothers me. So you're independent, but you are a-okay with strangers asking for, or somebody in your family asking strangers for money to bury or to cremate you. I'm completely lost when it comes to that. Sorry, my bad. Laura, don't act like you don't know the song, because I know you know the song. Like, I know you know the song.
If I heard it, maybe. It's not ringing a bell right now, but that's okay. I mean, I'm just telling on myself.
Spotify it, so.
I know, right? You're going to have to send it to me later. But you bring up a good point. Being okay with your relatives taking care of your expenses for you. I think that's kind of a selfish thing to do. To not have a plan in place and to burden your family with having to take care of your final expenses. I think it's a little irresponsible as well. I mean, because anything can happen. And like I said a second ago, with the way things are going in our society right now, people are getting stopped for air fresheners and they're being killed for no reason. And so, we have to be very mindful that tomorrow is not promised, and we can't depend on someone else handling our finances, handling our funeral costs for us.
Yep. I'm just saying, it's just very irritating to know that most people are somewhat comfortable with doing that. I think that with so many options that are out there, everybody has $20. Doesn't matter if you're broke or not. Everybody can find you. You can ask one person a day for $1, okay, and you'll find a way to get $20.
Well, okay. Say if you can ask for a GoFundMe, you can ask for $1 a day. But I mean, okay, come on, you bring up a good point. Who doesn't have $20? I get it if you're just not making enough and then you have a lot of expenses. That's a whole other topic, because then we can discuss getting rid of your debt and living below your means so that you don't find yourself in a situation where you can't afford certain things that are very important, like life insurance or like your car insurance or your health insurance, right? All of these things are priorities because you just never know what can happen to you. But again, like, especially when you're young, and I really, really want young people to get this, because please do not wait until you're like 45, 50, trying to get some type of coverage, because at that point in time, your body is forever going through this process, right? But as you get older, as you age, obviously things start to break down. You're gonna keep it real. I mean, I'm in my 30s, but I've noticed like huge changes in my body. Metabolism is slowing down. You know what I'm saying? When I used to dance, or I was very active in musical theater and stuff like that. So dancing and being active, my body is not doing that stuff anymore. I'm relatively still young. There is a difference. So don't wait until you're approaching retirement age to start handling those things, because then you're going to find yourself coming out of your pocket a lot more money than you would have if you had started to plan sooner. So again, young people, shucks, $20 a day, that's nothing, because one, you don't have those type of responsibilities yet. Are responsible for your some. You don't have as many responsibilities, and I mean that's like you said, some. But
we have some females out there fast, so I'm just letting you know. So they fast, but they're not fast with their finances. So I get it. But if
you can spend your money on the next J's that are coming out, if you can spend your money on the next iPhone that's coming out, if you can go out to eat 4 times a week, 4 to 5 times a week, then you can, I mean, hey, some people just, you know, if they on the run and they go, and they don't feel like cooking, like people,
because they don't know how to cook though, Laura. They don't know how to cook. So if they knew how to cook, it wouldn't be no issue. That's the thing about that's the thing about you can't we understand you just oh well, you know, I can make mac and cheese and ramen. There's not cooking. Okay. So let people know off rip. So if you know how to cook, if you don't even know how to cook, it's actually called a recipe book. Follow it. You be A-okay.
That's too old school, Tanisha. These young kids don't know about no cookbook, recipe book.
Okay, well, maybe I am. I told you I'm 15,000 years old. I told you I've been on this planet several times. Okay, I get that. All I'm sitting there saying is there's certain things that you could when it comes down to the budgeting or the cooking or it's more so it's about the procrastination of our people.
Yes, that's the correct word. And I am definitely, I'm gonna keep it real. I'm guilty of procrastination. When it comes to certain things.
Right.
So I get it. I get that people, they just don't think about it. And again, it's we need to be conscious of the wake up and what's going on in today's society and definitely get it together. Young people, I'm specifically talking to you all right now. Wake up and start to plan while you are young, because you're gonna definitely save money and you can build wealth over time. And we'll talk about that. We'll get into a little bit more detail about that later. But back to this whole GoFundMe thing and taking care of the final expenses. There's actually some statistics that Tanisha and I had did some research on with this GoFundMe. And, you know, as we talk about what's going on in today's society and, you know, in a sense, just leaving this earth too soon, you know, it's just alarming when you look at the numbers, when you break down what's really going on. So for example, in my research, I was studying this article from University of North Carolina. They did a study over a 14-year span. And their study showed that Blacks were 63% more likely to be stopped, even though as a whole, they drive 16% less. Taking into account less time on the road, Blacks were 95% more likely to be stopped. Studies also show that Blacks were more likely than whites to be searched in traffic stops. However, police were not able to find any contraband, but they were more likely to find those same contraband and substances when they search white drivers. So, I mean, that was a study that I found. It's called Suspect Citizens, What 20 Million Traffic Stops Tell Us About Policing and Race by Kelsey Shube. I think that's how you pronounce her last name. But I mean, it goes further. I mean, you can find a whole bunch of stuff. So for another example, taken from the Stanford Open Policing Project, their data set had nearly 100 million traffic stops across the US. Black drivers were about 20% more likely to be stopped than white drivers relative to their share of the residential population. Again, Blacks were searched up to 2 times more often as whites, but were less likely to be carrying drugs, guns, or other illegal contraband compared to their white counterparts. So, I mean, it's just incredibly alarming and frustrating, one, to be on that side of things, that this is the type of stuff that's going on. There was another one more that I found.
Been going on. Sorry.
Going on. I know, right? And I know you have stats up the wazoo, Tanisha, because I mean, I love you for being so passionate about our community and you know, getting people to understand what's happening. You know what I mean? And that's why when you look at numbers like that, you have to be consciously aware of your future, your financial future, and your plans for when you do pass away.
Right.
So
right.
I mean, it's that important because again, tomorrow is not promised.
And kills me. Sorry. What? I said, and what kills me is that Black folks, and I'm talking to my people, right? Black folks, if you want to sit there and if you're not going to be here the day after tomorrow, right? Wouldn't you want to sit there and gift someone in your family tax-free money? Like, you could complain all your life about working hard for the man. I could complain about this one guy named Uncle Sam who molests all of us and molests all of our money and all throughout all our lives, right? All you do is literally you just touch us in inappropriate ways, and we're sitting here and we just take it, right? But the one time you leave this earth, you could literally be like, I'm going to gift you a certain amount of money. You could literally bless a whole family, like literally bless a whole family. It's actually pretty crazy. I don't understand how you could keep complaining about something over and over and over and over and over again. And it hasn't caught on yet. Like, it's income tax free money. If you talk to somebody and you're like, I'm gonna get a policy, that $25,000 policy ain't gonna do nothing for you. It's gonna help you. It's gonna help bury you. But I'm pretty sure that you might have credit cards or you might have student loans. You might have to sit there and get to deal about court fees. If you didn't have a will, you have to sit there and deal with the fact that you have to go to court if you don't have a will, because probate is always going to be there regardless. Your house is going to sit there and go up because most people who buy outside of their means, and I mean that by the ones who are like, oh, I'm gonna buy this house, is $750,000, but you don't have nothing to cover that. You got mortgage insurance, but that doesn't cover I'm sorry, you can go ahead. I'm gonna say, come back here. I'm gonna bring it back.
No, it's awesome because I mean, we need to be passionate about these things. These are real issues that need to be addressed. And I know when we were talking earlier, Tanisha, we had mentioned, excuse me, other Blacks in the community who are speaking out and saying that certain things like the systemic racism or racism period in today's society doesn't exist, that we all have equal opportunity, that we all have the equal opportunity to in the workplace or in medical and in every aspect. And the thing is, are these people really doing their research? Are they really doing the history behind like what's been going on? And I don't necessarily agree with what they've said, because I mean, just by the examples I gave alone will show you something, that there is something to what we experience. But my thing is, we need to change the narrative. If they claim that there is a narrative being created for us to feel sorry for ourselves, to scream victim all the time, you know what I mean? Let's change that narrative. Let's change that. I love it. Let's change that narrative, right? Let's start creating that generational wealth. Let's start passing down our finances to our children. You know what I mean? Like you said, wouldn't you want to leave something behind? And the thing is, not enough families in our community are talking about it. We're starting to now. People are starting to become more aware of it now. That's great. We need more momentum. We need to continue to change and push the narrative of creating generational wealth. And how do you do that? Well, you do it by listening to platforms like this one. We have a wealth of knowledge that we want to share. And I mean, we break things down. We break it down piece by piece, really. And I mean, we can point you in the right direction if there's something that, I mean, obviously we are not all knowing, but if we don't know, we will get the answers, right? So we need to continue to push this narrative to change what's going on. And it starts with our financial foundation. It starts with us being aware of what's going on. And it also starts with us protecting ourselves. So
Right.
how do we protect ourselves? What do we protect ourselves with? Well, why do we protect ourselves? By not doing these GoFundMes. You know what I'm saying? Like, we protect ourselves and protect our family from having to carry those burdens.
I'm gonna give a big shout out to Tony Sanders, because she actually put this on Facebook. And when I read it, it actually hit me hard, because I read this twice in my life now. So the book is called Closing the Racial Wealth Gap, 7 Untold Rules, right? And it says, many in our communities willingly took small policies out on themselves and on all of their children to avoid the shame and humiliation of a pauper's funeral. No one has ever truly talked to these policyholders about ensuring for a greater value, let alone the possibility of creating a legacy by which they could be remembering on providing a hand up to others and their families. In addition, Big Mama's financial contribution to the family may have been $20,000 a year, and her funeral costs may have cost $5,000. Little did they realize that policies that covered the funerals and not the head of the household's lost income contribution to the family were actually of little to no use. I've noticed that since life insurance is not mandatory, unlike car insurance and or mortgage insurance, life insurance firms do not affirmatively promote it is as a standard topic of conversations to most Black households. It is not positioned as a necessary instrument for income protection, and in some cases, not even for a bare bones burial. As a result, this lack of knowledge has left many in our community content to just go without life insurance, and or by default ultimately allow their deaths to be someone else's problem. Because of this, we are ongoing and nonstop. We see not ongoing and nonstop begging to bury in our communities, relying on the latest crowdfunding platforms like GoFundMe, where strangers are asked to make online contributions to a family's funeral cost, has simply advanced the mechanism for us to gather emergency funding. However, the fundamental cause is the same: poor planning for anticipated and unexpected expenses. I've seen not just poor, but also middle-class African Americans turn to crowdfunding, in addition to the all too common passing of the plate at the church, the holding the car washes, the fish fries, and selling t-shirts or selling customized t-shirts. That's what is written down about us when it comes down to the wealth gap. That's scary. That's super scary.
Yeah.
That's scary, and it's sad.
Really is.
Because it's like, Terrence, you're on here, you're the only male on here, and I'm not saying this is Mommies Money, and I haven't done the calculations for women, because most of the time it's Black males getting killed and getting killed by the police, right? But in the past 35 years, there have been, in the past 35 years, is 324,000, actually I'm just going to round up, 324,600 Black men and boys have been literally killed, murdered by the police, right? So let me just do the calculations for y'all real quick, okay? Let's just say y'all have, like, we had a policy like $250,000 on them. That's what we didn't have much. I'm gonna say how easy it is for someone who's, as a 18-year-old male, $20.86 a month. You can literally get $250,000, okay? As just for basic. That's just what you need for this right now, just a starting point. So 364,600 Black males, let's multiply that by $250,000. You know what the number is that would have been paid out to these families if it was done right? I'm gonna tell you, $91,150,000,000. Let's just put this, $91 billion, okay? $91 billion. Now, $91 billion, 91 billion. I don't know. I guess that's how many zeros. Oh my Lord. Okay, hold on. Like, let's divide that by 14.6. Okay, so that's at least 6 million, about 6 million families. Out of the 14 million families, Black families we have, or 14 million, so that's 6 million people that will at least have some type of income, or at least have some type of $250,000 somewhere. So don't sit there and say that you can never do it, because it's very easy. It's very easy. You don't need a 200, or you don't need like the $25,000 or $50,000. You get it's called final expense. That's actually very easy to get. That's why you talk to us, right? But the GoFundMe thing to bury or whatever it is for your loved one, I promise you, if you don't fail to plan, you're gonna plan to fail. Point blank, period. That's it. That's why we're in the predicament that we're in right now. Like, I love the fact that we're marching, we're doing it in peaceful, we're doing it in peace, but obviously doing it in peace is not doing what we should be doing, period. Something has to, what's not clicking? What's actually not happening here? Oh, Natasha, did you raise your hand? Okay. Did she raise her hand? I was like, oh, okay, that's lovely.
I didn't want to cut you off, so I was like, let me just raise my hand whenever you're done.
Oh, girl, go ahead. I'm always going to be passionate about this, so you're fine. Go ahead.
You know, just hearing you guys talk, it made me remember the guy that, well, one of the people that actually filmed George Floyd. He was the one that actually got on the witness stand. He was the boxer, the one that they called was aggressive. But afterwards, you know, they interviewed him, and he said it really made him think about his legacy. Like, what if that was him? You know, I think he had like 2 or 3 kids, 2 sons, you know, and he was like, what is my legacy? What am I going to leave them? And so I think it kind of hit them. Unfortunately, it was at the hands of, you know, somebody dying and him actually witnessing that. But I think you're absolutely right. Like, GoFundMe, it was never made for that. Like, it wasn't created for that. You know what I'm saying? People are using it for that. They're using it for many platforms. But, you know, I totally agree. But it just made me think back to him. And hopefully, you know, other people will see, you know, I have to leave a legacy. Everybody says that, but they really don't. They don't do it, or they just, you can't hear me?
No, I'm saying they don't think about it.
Oh, right.
They
don't think about it, or they don't know, or what have you. It's a culture, or what have you. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that.
No, that's a perfect thing. That's the thing. If it doesn't do anything, guys, if it doesn't do anything for anyone out here, if we don't do a damn thing tonight, now, excuse my French, if we don't do a damn thing tonight, just know that you can literally, as a Black male, if you're 18 years old, $250,000 is $20.86 a month. Okay. Just to hold it down for like 10 years till you get your stuff together. You know what I'm saying? You get some extra money coming in to put into another account. We can help you with that too. But like, even if you just say you're 25 years old, that's $19.35. Oh yeah, I did that. I'm actually backwards. 18 is $19.35, and $25 or 25-year-old male is $20.86. Now, if you're 35-year-old Black male, it's $28.38 for $250,000. Free money after death. Plus, it has living benefits. I don't understand what's not clicking. I don't get it. And if you're a female, right? If you're a mom out there, a mom, auntie, niece, cousin, whatever, you're 18 years old, it costs you $16. I'm pretty sure that we can afford. I mean, there's probably an outfit from Fashion Nova that costs $16. So I mean, I'm not even sure what it is. I haven't shopped at Fashion Nova, so y'all could always correct me on that. But I'm just saying, there's absolutely no excuse. And most of the time, women live longer than men, right? So even if you look at get $250,000 for yourself and you're 25 years old, guess how much it still costs you for 30 years? $16.13. How are we not understanding this, guys? Like, how do you not understand what proper planning can sit there and do? How are we not sitting there having these conversations about, I'm in fear of my son or my husband walking outside and not coming back home. You get to mourn. You already, like, first of all, you know, if anybody's been in that situation, when somebody passes and they pass at the hospital, I'm telling you straight up, Natasha, you can also agree with me on, I'm telling you straight up, they do not sit there and wait for you at all. They actually ask you right then and there after they clean the room, who's coming to pick the body up. You could be in dead tears, screaming, hollering, calling all your family members, whatever it is. They're going to ask you, wait, who's coming to pick the body up? Because they're not going to keep the body there. So you're over here trying to get all this stuff together, and your mind, you're not even thinking clearly. No one's sitting there actually, like, that's just, I'm trying to help our community realize that before it gets to that point, have those plans in place. Laura sat there and gave statistics about, you know, that we have a better chance of getting pulled over. You know, we have a better chance of getting getting searched. You know that we have a better chance of not coming home because of the fact that right now in this day and age in 2021, we're doing the same exact thing they did to us back in the day. I'm not sitting there saying every white person is bad. I'm saying facts are facts. Okay, and if it's like, you know that the moon is around, right? So you can't sit there and come back to me and say the moon is a square. I see it. It's right there. Okay. I see it every single day. I can't trust all the media. The media is propaganda. Stop sitting there relying on all this stuff that's coming on. Like, you can't rely on social media all the time. Social media is sitting there lying to you too. If somebody goes to there trying to tell you, I want to help you with your money, and they're going to talk to you about your credit, great. I'm glad you want to sit there and build your credit up. I'm glad you want to fix your credit. But if you don't have the proper protection for yourself or your family, what the hell you plan on fixing after you die? How far are you going to get? I'm
People
sorry.
underestimate the
I
power
got a
of
little warm.
media. No, it's fine. Again, let the passion come through. But people underestimate the power of media and how it creates narratives. I mean, you mentioned it again. There are more stats. You know, Blacks are 60%. They experience threat or use of force when they're pulled over, as compared to 43% of their white counterparts. You know, when it comes to being pulled over, there are surveys out there that talk about Blacks, Black men and Black women. There's different categories. How often they're greeted with racial slurs, or when it comes to the medical field, like having access to medical care. When it comes to the workforce, you know, having more credentials than their white peers, but getting paid less money. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't say those things don't exist just because there is an opening. You know what I mean? We gotta look at what's the truth. And the truth is, there are factors, and you can't expect those individuals, the powers that be, if you will, to come out and just admit flat out what you expect them to. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's like the queen. That's like the Queen of England. So they're saying, "Oh yes, I definitely stole all the gold from Africa, and I'm not going to give it back to them because it's all mine." That's exactly what is actually happening. So, like, I feel you on that. Like, it's like, just,
I mean, it's kind of ludicrous to even like think that way, but you know what I mean? Like, come on, people, like, get this. We need you to get this. You know what's funny? You asked me earlier, Tanisha, why do people seek financial assistance from other people when it comes to the GoFundMe? What makes a person comfortable enough to do that? I think the main thing is, one, not knowing. You don't know what you don't know. We don't know about these other options. I mean, you said it before, it's not being talked about in our communities, in our families, right? So we don't know to get those things. And then when somebody presents us with the information, there's a lack of trust. Most people that you talk to, and let's just be real. I mean, you go to a family member or friend, you say, hey, you know, you need to get yourself protected and get some type of life insurance coverage. Life insurance, what I need that for? Life insurance is death insurance. You know what I'm saying? Or They always think that you're trying to scam. Oh, it's a scam. Oh, it's a pyramid scheme. Oh, it's this, that, and the other. So there's a lack of trust. People don't believe that this is something that they need. Why? Because at an early age, it wasn't talked about. It's one of those things you wait until you're approaching retirement age, or you start to realize that your generation is getting older, and then you realize, okay, I do need to get some type of protection. By that point, it's too late. Like we said earlier, you're gonna pay a lot of money, or you're not gonna be able to get them. So I think people need to prioritize. Again, don't live above your means, but prioritize those things that are important, things that will definitely affect you or your loved ones in the present and after you're gone. And I think another thing is that people need to see that it works, need to see that it's tangible. And that's why I think people do the whole GoFundMe, is because they know it's like an instant gratification. They know they got that money right then and there.
Right.
As opposed to perhaps saving over a period of time and letting your wealth build. You know what I mean? We live in that society where the instant gratification, if it don't come, it ain't real. If it's not right now, then it's fake. It's a scam. So again, like I said, we need to change that narrative. And this is where we need to be intentional, because we have this information and people need this information. But my challenge to those who are watching and listening, once you see the information, know that it's true. You know what I mean? Know that it's real. Know that it's out there for you to create a better future for yourself and your family.
And then even when like perfect example, I know that on Fathers&Finances, they talked about, creating a legacy, right? And I keep seeing, but I think it's on my Instagram somewhere. Somebody put it in there like, no, what we need is land trust LLCs, and I forgot the other one, but I was like, it was in the wrong order to me, right? I was like, yeah, it's great to have an LLC, but you have to put it in something. You have to, if you're going to leave it, you have to put it in something. See, we're quick to start a business without thinking it through. You're quick to sit there and you have to at least be able to know that if you have a product, you're going to be able to have to distribute that product. You're going to be able to make sure that product's being first of all, are you allowed to sit there and do it? Are you licensed in the state to sit there and distribute that product? Once you get licensed in the state, do you know that there could be extra fees if you go with somebody else or whatever it is? There's always a circle. As a sole proprietor, do you know a certain tax implications you have on that? Do you know that an LLC can actually still go into probate court? Right? So you can sit there and have everything in place. You could have the LLC. You can sit there and be like, oh, I have a good grip of money in my checkings account, my savings account. It looks fat. I'm out here, got my little, what's it called? Maseratis, whatever it is, whatever, mozzarellas, whatever they're called, right? You over here, you driving it. You over here and you driving it and you die. What's happening with that? It's just out there. That's why I tell people who do cryptocurrency too. It's pretty great that you want to invest and start your financial house at the roof, because that's where most houses are built. They're built roof down. Since the sarcasm, that was sarcasm there. Built roof down. And then if you're making money in cryptocurrency, where are you putting it? Where are you saving it at? If you're taking it out, where are you putting it at? Because they haven't taxed you yet. So they're going to find a way to sit there and find a way. That's what they're probably actually working on right now. If you actually follow what's going on in the world, they're actually trying to find a way to sit there and actually tax crypto in all aspects of the world. So if you have a good grip of money and you pass away in crypto and you have that's all you have is crypto, how do you expect your children to get it? They may not know what wallets you possess. They may not know what you have in the Bitcoin. They may not know anything because there's no beneficiary on it. So again, we're just out here in these worlds where it's the GoFundMe is starting to become it's a trend, and it's a horrible trend. It's a horrible trend. Just like not saving money was a horrible trend. Like how we sit there and I get it. We have a lot of work to do in our community. I'm not sitting there saying it's going to just happen overnight. It's because nothing happens overnight. That's what we all wish, right? That's pretty much what everybody out there is hoping and praying for, like double tap, and you claim it, you're going to have $20,000 in your bank account tomorrow. First of all, we all pray, right? And no matter what you pray to, like you pray to the moon, you pray to Jesus, whatever you pray to, we all pray. But you have to sit there and know when to be prepared for certain things, for the unexpected, right? Literally, it does not matter what you're doing in your life. Stop procrastinating and get it together. Because when you procrastinate and you wait to a certain age, or you wait till something unexpected, or seeing like George Floyd, like Natasha brought up, George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, Sandra Bland, Breonna Taylor, say their names because pretty much we've seen it all. It's all in front of us. That's all we're literally seeing. How is it not in your head to sit there and be like, let me protect myself and my family. Let me just go ahead and figure this out. Let me just go ahead and put like $200-$300 to the side to make sure that little itsy bitsy spider, little Mandela, Winnie, and they're okay. And then me and husband are okay. Or me and the father are okay.
It needs to hit home. People, unfortunately,
how is that not hitting home?
Are so desensitized. So, oh, okay, well, it's not my family member. I mean, some people have that attitude. You know what I mean? We all can go walk down the sidewalk and say their names, but what is the effort that you're putting behind you? What's the effort that you're putting behind backing up and protecting your family?
Right. And that's the issue. I just think that
shouldn't take it hitting home for you to, to really start to think about it.
It actually bothers me when I have friends ask me for, hey, can you do a donation for my GoFundMe? Excuse me? And then I get mad because y'all know, do you know what I do? like, do you know what campaign I'm on? Like, this is how did we get here to this point? Like, I don't care if it was for college. I don't care I could get it if it was a GoFundMe. We're like, hey, we're trying to like build up for our honeymoon. Well, you should have planned that better. But hey, I give you $1. You know what I'm saying? I give you $2, whatever it is. But like, I'm not. I can't be upset because I had to sit there and take that necessary step to making sure that I was okay. Make sure my dad, my brother, everyone else in my family is okay. Why can't you take that necessary step, regardless of whatever age? What's it gonna sit there and take?
People want things easy, like you said earlier. I mean, people want the easy way out. Well, this is quick, this is fast, this is easy. I don't have to do anything.
That's crazy. You know what else is the easy way out? Is when they shoot your behind in front, like shoot your behind 14 times in the back. That's another easy way out. If they come into your house and shoot you while you sleep, that's another way out. If you got 3 strangers in a freaking pickup truck chasing you while you're going for a jog, that's the easy way out. Don't sit there and say this easy way out. That's a coward way of sitting there and say that's a lame excuse for all of us. We could do so much better. We literally, like, we have this show every Thursday, right? We talk about different topics. We have Fathers and Finances on Tuesday. We talk about different topics. We have our financial shares. We talk about the same thing to sit there and show people that, yes, you can change your life just by getting a little education and applying it to yourself, applying it to your family. You can actually save your future by doing that. But instead, you thought it was real cute for you to be like, you know what? I'm not going to be going to workshops on tonight because it starts at 8. I got like, give me a TV show. Give me a show, Laura. Somebody give me a show. I don't know. What's the show? Just pick one.
The Bachelor.
Okay, there it is. The Bachelor. Right? They'd rather watch The Bachelor than sit there and be like, let me just do something that's going to actually help my future. Because I promise you, a lot of other people, and I say a lot of other people, a lot of other races out there are not really worried about The Bachelor. They don't really. They probably actually just DVR it until they have time to actually sit there and focus on what they got to sit there and focus on. They're going to sit there and make sure that like their kids are A-okay. They're going to make sure that they have whatever they have to in place. It's something that seem right. They're going to go for a budget, whatever they have to sit there and do. I promise they're doing everything in their power to make sure their future is set. So why aren't we doing the same exact thing? because that's like I'm gonna keep saying, procrastination is our killer. That's it. It makes absolutely no sense at all for anyone to beg anyone to bury somebody in your family. That actually that's humiliating. That's literally humiliating to me. I'm sorry. I couldn't ask anyone for, can I get $20 so you can help me bury somebody? What? No, not at all. And I don't know if it's going to keep taking someone else new every single day to get shot or to get pulled over or whatever it is that's going on. Cause it happens every single day. If you guys haven't seen from 2020, it's been almost every other month, we have something going on. So we out here marching. We have other people out here bombarding capitals. Like, I don't understand where it's not clicking in your head that, hey, my family I have a child, I have 2 children, I have 3 children, I have a husband, I have a boyfriend, we've been together forever. Get something together, because what you can sit there and do is, if something happens to you or your husband or whatever is going on, I promise you blessed your children just by the fact that you may not be there, but they're going to always be like, yo, my mom, my dad looked out for me. So whatever is, you say what you want to, I'm good. They're not going to be a target anymore, because now they're going to be like, if you kill that kid, somebody's going to give him $500,000. We got to give him $500,000. I told you $91 billion, guys. $91 billion. You know what the deficit of this country is? We're in the trillions. Billion is right next to it. So don't ever say, like, we're consumers, right? If we're consumers, why don't y'all consume something and make it smart? Everybody's like, oh, we could buy this book, like the Get Rich or Think Rich and Buy, or Be Rich and Die Rich, whatever that Robert Kiyosaki book is, right? You can read that all day. Whatever, still ain't doing the right things you should be doing. Y'all out here is letting you give a Dave Ramsey $3,000, but you can't sit. For what? To help you budget?
Some real nuggets, Tanisha. You hitting some real.
It makes
nuggets.
no sense. It just bothers me. Yeah. It bothers me to my core, because it's like everyone who keeps complaining and they went, oh, well, I'm broke, or I can't afford this. I promise you, I can literally look at my Facebook stories right now. Somebody in my friend circle has bought a brand new pair of Jordans for their child. The baby's uninsured, she's uninsured, the daddy's uninsured, and the other child's uninsured. That's 4 people in the family. What y'all plan on doing? Them Jordans are going to get you where?
Promise you, Jordan don't need your dollars.
You can't even get buried in them, last time I checked. That's a whole nother expense. Just give you guys a heads up. When you bury something, they keep adding on. It's like it's almost like a checklist they go down. Like, so you want these type of flowers? Okay, that's $250. Oh, you want these type of you want this type of casket? Oh, that's easy, $8,000, $9,000, whatever. So don't think it's easy to bury somebody nowadays, because these funeral parlors are making money to the point where, you guys, we live in a world of COVID. There are literally semi-truck trailers in New York, and they're putting dead bodies in it. So don't sit there and say like they care about you, because they don't.
Mm-hmm. That's real.
It's bigger than that, guys. It's so much bigger. And if we keep doing the same thing we're doing as of yesterday, the year before, and you're not trying to sit there and grow, or have your money sit there and grow for you, or at least be able to know that your family's protected and make sure you have things in place, the smallest thing in place. I told you, for $16, a 25-year-old female could have $250,000.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
$16?
Yeah.
I spent $16 at a Kroger.
Yeah. No, that's real. It's funny. I'm sorry I came on late. Mommy duties transitioning in. That thing is real. As we talk about mommies and money, we got to make the money. We got to take the kids to swim. We got to do Kumon, right? Anyway, earlier today, you just gave a number, a 24-year-old male, not even preferred, 30 years, living benefit term, just over $28. I think it was like $28.06 or something like that. Same male, 100,000, no living benefits, 30 years. This isn't even a preferred rating. It's standard, $16. There is no reason why every single person in our community should not have some measure of, if not protection, because let's just face it, most people don't even know how to calculate their own protection need, which is why they need to attend the workshops and learn these concepts, but at least should have some life insurance. And the other thing is, stop lowballing our families, stop lowballing our communities. For most of us, having life insurance, protection, I'm going to say protection as opposed to life insurance, because too many people have life insurance and it's a $5,000 policy, it's a $50,000 policy. So that is of old. If you are listening to this and that is the size of your policy, reach out, because it is not significant enough. That's not even true life insurance. That's like a final expense, something just to take care of final expenses. And so we need to understand what's the difference between final expense. I don't even know. I'm sorry. I don't even know what the topic is. You just got me fired up. I'm not even sure if we on topic. Sorry, I should say, because I'm not even sure if we're on topic. Okay. But I'm just picking up from where you left off. But what's the difference between final expense, life insurance, and protection, and making sure that ideally as young as possible, we can focus on protection as opposed to anything else? Because let's look at the numbers in terms of creating wealth and building wealth. By the way, tell me what the topic is so I can make sure I get back.
We were talking about
Thank you, Laura.
we were talking about the GoFundMes and why our community always keeps going towards the GoFundMe accounts.
Okay, got it. Thank you. So, and I did read that earlier. I apologize. So now I feel like Trevor. Trevor, if you watching, bruh, look, they go, bruh, you and I, we in the same vein, bruh. Okay. So, anyway, when we look at having protection, the whole thing of GoFundMe can totally be bankrupted, because just look at the history of us in this country. So America likes to start the conversation with slavery. We know that's not where we started, right? But if you look at the history of this country, which is slavery, then you have to count first, you weren't even considered to be human. Let's just start there, right? Then, depending upon who you are a percentage of human, okay? Then you're trying to fight for civil rights to have access of the other counterparts. So now you're trying to deal with having access. And then social unrest. This is 2021. We're dealing with issues in 2021 that folks were dealing with in 1940 and 50, which in and of itself is a disgrace, right? But the reason I mention that is because all of that surrounds access to investing, access to loans, access to real estate, access to education. All of that surrounds zoning issues. There's a whole discussion path that goes to why we have to understand how money works to disrupt the notion of GoFundMe. And when you are perhaps a first generation investor or a second generation investor, or even in terms of making a six-figure income, you might be the first person in your bloodline to do that. And you don't want to have GoFundMe. The quickest way to pass on generational wealth is protection for your life. It's the quickest way and it's the least expensive way. Because if your mama and daddy, if your grandparents didn't have, forget $1 million. Folks talk about $1 million like it's a lot of money. They didn't have 5 million or more to pass on to you. Likely you're not even in the running of that. So what can you create that you can pass on to the next generation, that they can harness the rule of 72, that they can harness tax advantages, that they can then make sure money is working for them and they're not forever in their entire life working for money? We got to change the paradigm. We got to change the narrative. And that's why it's so important to do the things that Tanisha is talking about today, and doing it as soon as possible, and literally starting where you are. If where you have to start, if you're that person that all you can do is $1 a day, you got to start with $30, then guess what? God bless you, and start with $30. If you're the person that can do $10 a day and you can start with $300 a month, then go for it and start being disciplined and save $10 a day, $300 a month. If you're the person that can say, you know what, I can save 10% of my income, 15% of my income, whatever, 10 to 15% of my income, no matter what it is, be it 100,000, be it $250,000, be it $500,000, then you save there and you create. No matter where you are, there is a path for you and you can start building where you are. So that's all I'm going to share. I'm going on mute. Thank
you. On that note, thank you so much, Delita. You're so powerful. I just love when you share your passion and you start to speak on, and you were on point, just so you know. You were like, so on. But to piggyback off of that, she said, get in touch with us. We will help you out. So I want to give you the website. We are Phoenix 2017 at gmail.com. That's Phoenix, F-E-N-I-X.
Email. That's the email address.
Yeah, I'm sorry. What did I say it was?
The website.
The email address. Please forgive me. Yes, reach out to us by dropping a comment below or send us an email. And you can go visit our Facebook page, Mommies and Money. We are here to help you out. We are here for you. And we want to definitely show you and meet you where you are, like she said. Tanisha, did you have anything else as we are starting to wrap up? This has been awesome.
If I keep going, I'm never going to stop. So the thing about it is there's a lot more for us to discuss as a people. There's a lot more of us, like what we have to sit there and do. This is why I tell people our mission is important for us, because not only are the ones that have made it, but the ones that are trying to make it need to sit there and know. We all need to meet in the middle, and we all need to sit there and unify and just know that this is how can I put it? Elijah Muhammad, I think Elijah Muhammad is the one who said it. I'm pretty sure. So if you want the power, you gotta have to have the money, right? But if we want the power and we have no money, we're never gonna get the power. That's done. All right. So if you could sit there, if they're gonna just be popping bullets all up in us and stuff like that, hey, just do me a favor. Just get yourselves, get your families protected. And I promise you, somehow, some way, that power shift will slowly move back to where it needs to go. And we can really make some major changes within our community just by the little things that we do today. So I know, Laura, you have I know you have a great Black History fact, because Black History is all year round. This is everybody out there. I will be posting on right now. I'll be letting everybody know that Singles and Soarings at every fourth Saturday of every month. Do not miss it. I know that I'm single. I'm soaring. I still need some direction. Okay. We also know that we have workshops every day of the week, Monday through Saturday. You guys can go to www.worldsystembuilder.com/WS-USA and register, and you can literally listen into a whole bunch of leaders across the country educate you on debt management, proper protection, building a stronger financial foundation, asset accumulation, and wealth preservation. Pretty sure some of you out there is going to want to hear something. And if you don't, then you can excuse yourself and just continue to be rocking that 9 to 5 until you're about 75 years old, retire, and then go back to work at 71 years old because you didn't do it right. So just face the facts. So thank you. Go ahead, Miss Laura. I will take the Black History fact any day right now. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Once again, for everybody on the call, thank you, Delita, Natasha, and Terrence, and of course, Tanisha, for joining us this evening. And as Tanisha said, we do love to close with a Black History fun fact. We are Black History 365 days of the year. And so the spotlight goes to, give me 1 second. Let me pull her up. Her name is, oh, I'm sorry. Can you let me share, Tanisha? I can't hear you. You're on mute.
I said, my bad. I'm sorry. You go ahead. You're good to go.
Oh, okay. Good. Okay, cool. Here we go. Can everybody see my picture?
Yes.
We good? All right. Spotlight goes to Miss, I believe it's pronounced Lida or Lida D. Newman. She patented the hairbrush that was durable and could be taken apart for cleaning. So in the late 1600s, Newman invented a hairbrush that could be taken apart easily for cleaning because it contained a compartment at the bottom that could be removed from the back and be cleaned. The US patent was filed on July 11th, 1898, and granted on November 15th, 1898. The hairbrush she invented is described in her patent as simple and durable in construction and being very effective when in use. So, Miss Newman was also an organizer for women's suffrage in the early 20th century as a suffragist, excuse me. She spent her time canvassing neighborhoods in New York City, hosted street meetings to educate passing people, and to support the New York Women's Suffrage Party. Newman started the Negro suffrage headquarters in Manhattan. She's originally from Ohio, my stomping ground. So thank you once again, Miss Lyda D. Newman. And
Yeah,
thank
a
you
lot of
all.
y'all need a lot of females out there. A lot of y'all need to sit there and really start clapping. I don't care if you're in the YouTube world or wherever, because the hairbrush has helped a lot of us out there. Okay, doesn't matter what's going on. A hairbrush has been very necessary for every woman of color forever and ever. So thank you, Miss Newman. I appreciate it.
And our other
Absolutely.
sisters, everybody benefiting from that hairbrush, okay?
Exactly.
100 strokes a
They
day.
sure
We have all heard it, 100 strokes a day.
Yes, yes. All right, everyone. Again, thank you for joining us. Come back next Thursday, 6:30. Drop in on Fathers and Finance at 6:30 on Tuesdays, and Singles and Soaring once again every fourth Saturday at 8 p.m. And we will see y'all then.
Thank you. Bye.